I'd say you cannot live without a drone. Without a drone, that means there's something that you're doing that is actually time consuming, that you can actually avoid that part by using a drone. We should actually learn to observe and not absorb. What I do is I mostly observe and not take it in, but I observe it to say, how can I actually use this to actually change the narrative? I'm not going to allow anything to control me. I tell it, what to do. If it's my mind, I tell it what I want it to do. So if it's time for it to just close that down and just leave the entrepreneur part and just focus on family, then it knows it has to obey me because I'm its owner.
Welcome to the show, Marang Mbaakanyi. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Okay, so listen to the name.
Erra.
Hey everybody, welcome to Deep Dive Sessions. My name is Monumental. Our goal with the show is to bring you and I in proximity to the people and ideas that will show us that it is possible and it can be done, and eventually help us achieve it on our dreams and on our goals. Today we have a special guest, a powerful woman, in fact, who is very well versed in the space of technology. Somebody who's also well educated and has attained many awards. So ladies and gentlemen, actually, I'm going to ask her to introduce herself because she can do a way better job than I can. Welcome to the show, Marang Mbaakanyi. How are you doing? So I think you're one of the few people actually that's privileged to have found out what you wanted to do from jump. This was your thing. But when did it become your thing? When you're like, okay, this is actually what I'm going to pursue as a career. When did it become that?
Mm-hmm. I think as much as you see you love something, there is how society always dictates, or careers are always lawyers and doctors and whatnot. So the whole time I'm fixing and doing, helping with computers and helping with all that. At the back of my mind, I knew I want to be a lawyer. So throughout my junior, senior, I think when I got to my senior, that's when I just decided I'm taking the computing route. I think the love just kept growing stronger to an extent that I just felt I enjoy and I love doing this.
So you never had like a moment where you're like, this law thing, or it was just the love just kept growing and then eventually it superseded the law one?
Yes, I think that's what happened. I had that, and then because of the love and the passion and thing, I decided, let me just specialize in that thing. Let me just take that route. Yeah.
Also credit to, I think, your family for allowing you to, go deep into this, especially from a tender age. So
Yeah.
I'm telling you the truth. But I remember Nernadi speaker at the Saberek and I would do that, open the security and whatnot. I remember that vividly. But I don't think it was an overwhelming passion like it was for you.
No.
So walking through what in senior school again, and then you went and did your computer systems engineering at Boost. Then you went to do a master's at BAC. Then you did your master's at Boost. This was a plan. This was the plan, just to go like this, to go academia first, and then you jump straight into it, or you just wanted to be someone who wanted to invent stuff?
I think the part of inventing things wasn't really the main thing that motivated that. It was actually the problem-solving part.
Fixing stuff.
Yeah, fixing stuff.
Right.
I loved fixing things to an extent that I decided whatever it takes for me to just keep fixing things, then I'll take that route. Yeah, that's how I ended there.
I'm motivated by madness. So essentially madness is kind of what you were saying right now. You know, when you come and if I'm doing something, then I'm not gonna sleep. Like I'm the kind of guy that remembers even these small conversations, even the way you looked at me or the way you looked at how we did things. That motivates me a lot. However, I understand that is kind of like a dark emotion. You can't live in that because you won't be happy, you know, but I tap into it sometimes on certain days. I don't know if that's something you do. Do you ever tap into that emotion where I have it written actually? That's how much of a maniac I am. I have it written. I have the instances written. This time, because I remember it like night and day. And sometimes when it's difficult, you know, sometimes you can't be motivated by good stuff all the time. Like, hey, you're doing well. Hey. No. Sometimes when it's difficult, you need to think to those moments when you think, oh, this person, am I really going to let them just
do that?
Go with the narrative or like that? Does that happen to you?
Yeah, it happens, but how I react to it, I don't write it because obviously I just want to forget about it.
Yeah,
it's an instant motivation. But in terms of remembering and trying to remind myself about it, I don't do that.
Yes.
One of my friends just gave me this other statement that actually works a lot for me. She's actually here.
Friend?
She says, we should actually learn to observe and not absorb. So all the time, whatever that I do, whether a customer comes in and they have that in their mind, or like a female can do it. What I do is I mostly observe and not take it in. But I observe it to say, how can I actually use this to actually change the narrative? What can I do at that particular point? That's why I'm saying it comes as a motivation, not necessarily as...
You don't take it in.
Yeah, I don't take it
in, guys. I got chest them. Yeah? I don't know chest. But obviously, I can't chest everything. There are things where I'm just like, you know. But there's certain things where, I do that. But also, it's something that with time I discovered about myself. Because I was studying entrepreneurship at UB. And the honest truth is, I wanted to quit many times. I just felt like it wasn't practical to what I'm experiencing in life and what I'm hearing out there in the business I'm experiencing on a day-to-day basis. I was like, what's going on? This feels like a lot of theory. And so long story short, lecturer told me, you are not going to graduate. She didn't say, I don't think you're not going to graduate. She said, you are not going to graduate. So that was a switch point for me. It was one of those things that I don't know at that point in time that happened to me, but yeah, I went back and did all my studies. That entire night I was up just working and everything. And the following day I submitted everything. And that's basically how I graduated. I don't think I was really going to graduate. Let's talk about drones. This is your business. This is what you do. In the back, you were telling me that you registered the company in 2019 and you only started running this year. And I've been seeing you at the fair. You are going to the one that's happening on the 2nd of September, the Gaborone Tech show, all these things. Like, how are you? People normally when they start something, they always have that shyness to put themselves out there.
Yeah.
But you are just robust about it. What is that thing? What is that lesson you have learned, or what made you this way to just be out there aggressively?
Like I said, I started a company. I registered it in 2019. So you can ask yourself what has been happening between 2019 and 2023, where we're now operating. When you are passionate about something, when you have planned and know the potential of what you're bringing to people, then you cannot be shy. You aggressively go out there because you are sure of what you're giving to the people and you know they need it. So in terms of, why we're everywhere, I think it's because we know what we're giving to the people. That is why we come out so.
You believe in your
strong.
product.
We believe strongly in our product. Yeah.
Talk to me about the product in and of itself. I think it's something that not everybody knows about a drone and all that. At least walk us through some of that stuff that we might not even know about drones. Like, the beauty of a drone.
Yeah. I'd say you cannot live without a drone. I just don't know. I don't know if you guys don't have a drone, then I don't know how you guys live. Because without a drone, that means there's something that you're doing that is actually time consuming, that you can actually avoid that part by using a drone. If you don't have a drone, then there's something that you're doing that you're not supposed to be doing it the way you're doing it.
How so?
Because you don't have a drone. Let me break it down. A construction engineer, for example, for you to actually inspect your site, you need a drone to do that. After building whatever building that you have built, and you want to actually see what's going on up there and actually see the building without going up there, you need a drone. So a drone can actually help you with that. And for you to, surveying and mapping, you need a drone for that. Agriculture. Instead of going in the farm and using the knapsack sprayer, something that takes a bit of, a long time for you to actually cover the whole field. You need a drone to do that. Some people say, a boom sprayer can actually help. But for you to actually pass through the crops, because you're using a tractor to pass through that.
Yes.
So to avoid that, for you to get 100% of what you have actually plowed is to use a drone. And then what else? Events, indoor, outdoor, we're supposed to be using a drone.
I was actually gonna ask you.
Yeah, instead of, because there are other angles that we're missing right now. Which
the top of our heads.
Yeah, top of our heads, the reactions. But you could actually use a drone for that. Inspection of towers. A lot of people are risking their lives going up there to just go and check what's going on up there. But instead of risking you can actually use a drone to see that. At least that's too risky. And literally everywhere. Instead of a lot of people, we hear water utilities because they're trying to get samples of water samples. Instead of doing that, you can actually use a drone to do that.
To get in the water.
To get in the water. There are drones that can actually get in the water, get whatever sample that you want, and provide you with the information instead of risking
Okay.
So if we're talking about all industries, medical, there are other people by Longare, one, maybe they stay in remote areas, because most of the time it's like, we cater for ourselves in the cities and forget the people in the remote areas. So they are drones that can actually deliver stuff, whether a mail, simple as a mail, or medicine, Other people, because there was lack of blood, there was no blood, shortage of blood in the area. So instead of just waiting, you can actually use a drone to fly it and help that particular person.
Right.
And and many other.
So you advocate for the drone to be used by the average person?
Yes.
How about the pricing now? Is it something that can be...
Yes. Drones can be used by an average person, can be used by anyone from as little as 3 years old onwards, up to whatever age. So in terms of pricing...
is it affordable for people to use, like a smartphone type thing, or...
Even a smartphone is expensive.
I mean...
drones are affordable. I think the same way as we have, this type of new looking at the capabilities, iPhone, depends on what you're looking for in a drone. But in terms of affordability, they're 100% affordable. Yeah.
Okay. So a drone can be
literally everyone.
just like your phone, halad. Just like a normal phone, you can get a drone.
Yes.
With that pricing.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's all our normal phone or rubber, but yeah, drones are affordable.
Like
yes.
The average phone, TV, but now you're into drones.
Yeah.
What drew you to drones though? Like what drew you particularly to drones?
So in my journey, I got from my degree and then my master's, I didn't know about drones at all. Same way about the drone. What are you talking about? I literally didn't know anything about drones. So when I was doing my master's, as I was choosing my research area, that's exactly where I met drones. And I decided to explore this. And then the love started then, and I tried flying 5 drones at the same time, just using code for my master's, yes. And then I got to a point where I asked myself, how can I build a business model around this thing? How can I actually, because I've realized the importance of this thing, but how can I take it to people? How can I, because as much as it's important, you get to ask yourself, how can I help people with this thing? Because of the capability as on a drone. And that's where and how Drones for Africa was born.
So it was planted 2019?
19, yes.
And then all the way through, then what were you doing?
Hey. I believe everyone can believe everyone here have like a company that is registered, but for some reason, when I decided to build a business model around drones, I thought, but then I'm going to register. 100 will register the company, and then I realized, no way. I don't even know how I'm going to how to build like a business model, not necessarily like a framework.
Yeah.
How am I going to run this company? And then I sat down, and that was 2020. I sat down and started, coming up with ideas, how the training, the repairs, the everything. And then I got excited, and I'm just there, and I'm like, hey, as much as it's affordable, but for a shop, you need different types of drones, agriculture drones and other drones. And they were like, no, I can't afford, stocking up drones. And then I started off selling clothes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the way I was selling the apparel, people would think by this time I would have opened a boutique. But I was actually saving up for Drones for Africa. Until I think I've saved enough to start something.
You must have made money, eh? For drones. Hey. Okay.
And then, Drones for Africa is here.
3 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Marang, you are a mother, a wife, a CEO, an entrepreneur, a singer. Yes. But you're all these things. Walk me through, because I think this is very important. These are very important aspects of your life, and you're running them simultaneously. What is your view on balance? Let me just put it like that. How do you think about it?
Balance. I think balance can actually be there if you first admit or get to a point where you acknowledge what you have on the table. And then after that, after having it all in the table, that's when you see how to actually balance it out. I think when I started, I was overwhelmed all the time. I'd literally cry because, you're from work, you get home, that baby's doing that thing, but you're already stressed about what's going on at work and everything. And I think that I got to a point where I just sat down and say, how can I actually do this? And that's where the balancing came. How do I get to balance everything?
But is there balance?
Yeah, it's there. It's actually there. Because I think what I'm doing right now is what a true definition of balancing. Having to balance everything. So what I do is I schedule everything. My life, I put it in a book.
Yeah.
I've gotten to a point where I say, okay, when it's time for work, it's work. And when it's time for my family, it's time for family. So what I do is when I'm at work, focus on work. And immediately, once I leave work, I just close up everything. Whether I have, work and other things, I close up all these things and then focus on family. And then once the whole family is asleep, then the entrepreneur mode comes in and I stop being a mother for a bit and a wife and I start working. And then in the morning, I now become a mother and prepare the babies and prepare everyone, everything. And once they're all gone, I now take the hat of being an entrepreneur. So I think it's a matter of just having to know how to balance.
What about time for yourself? Do you struggle finding time for yourself?
I think I think there's that too. So I think in terms of balancing for an entrepreneur, I think I've gotten to a point where I master that, and then balancing time for family. I think I master that, and now I'm in the process of actually giving myself time. Because with the workload, with being a mother, a wife, and other things that you have to worry about, the last thing that you want to worry about or you think of is the last thing that you want to think of is yourself.
Yes.
So I think I'm still working on that. Yeah, I'm still working around that. But in the period where I just made the babies and everyone to sleep. Everyone is asleep. I have a short period, to just think about me. But it's the reason why I'm saying I'm working on it because I feel it's just it's just too little before I switch on the entrepreneur mode and say, but like there's that thing, and you're like you bring your computer and start working. Yeah.
How do you disconnect though? Like how do you disconnect? Because it's something that I'm not great at yet. And I have no problem with it, at least now. But I think it's something that is an essential skill to learn. That ability to disconnect from entrepreneur hat to mom hat. From mom hat to wife hat. From wife hat to me. How are you able to disconnect and connect accordingly?
I think that's in terms of how I do it, I just don't know how I really do it. But I think I don't know if that has to do with emotions. And the mind and how you condition your mind to actually know it's time to just close everything down and switch to another thing. So I don't know, because I master. What I've told myself is I have control over literally everything, you know, and I'm not going to allow anything to control me. I tell it, you know, what to do. If it's my mind, I tell it what I want it to do. So if it's time for it to just close that down and just leave the entrepreneur part and just focus on family, then it knows it has to obey me because I'm its owner. So one thing that I think we don't have is we allow all these things to get to control us. We allow what, you know, the mind to tell you, you know, there's work, you know, the thoughts to just tell you, you know, work, there's that. And you get to forget other important things in the process. So I think it's just having to master and knowing yourself as an individual to say, I have control over literally everything. And everything is just right in my hands and I can do anything with it. Yeah, I think it also comes to just to switch a bit. It comes to just the you know, the customers. When a customer comes with, you know, that emotion and whatnot, you just switch. You know, you get to switch and try to calm them, because if you can't switch that, if you can't control anything that goes on in your mind and what, okay, so I think it comes with just control. Yeah.
Lovely. You are an award-winning. You know, you are award-winning, and you were. I failed to remember the precise words of the awards.
Yeah.
Techie, okay, not the Techie, and then the other one was the women's best women in the what? Creative
innovation and technology.
Creative innovation and technology. That is huge. Huge. And you said 2023 is when you hit the ground running.
Yeah.
That is immense. But to that point, my question is, as a leader, because you're a leader, what is the role that you want, or what is the message you want to give, especially to youngsters and young women in the technology space? Let's talk about that first. What is the message, the biggest epiphany you want to give to them?
Passion, or everything that you want to know or want to do actually is right within you. And don't allow the society to tell you what you cannot do and what you can do, because you know what you're capable of. What I've realized, or sometimes when you actually expect people to clap hands for you, you might not even get anything if you want to depend on that. So I'd say the only person to applaud, the only person to encourage, the only person to do the right thing is actually you. So what I would say to them is, you're capable and you can do it. That's the line. You can do it. Yeah.
Capable and you can do it. I love that. Now, excuse me, still on the leadership, on the leadership side. Obviously, as a leader, you have to embody what you say to everybody else. How has that been your experience, and how do you view leadership as a leader? What is a good leader to you?
A leader, let me think. I think a good leader is to me is someone who can actually lead by example. Someone who can actually get their hands dirty, not necessarily tell you to do something. So what we have is in in terms of an organizational structure at our job or at Drones for Africa is we have a line type of organizational structure. Yes, we Hasura Hotzana, you're going to see Marang. Yeah, that's the Drones for Africa thing. And I believe everyone in that department, everyone in that skill are actually better than any other person. So a good leader is actually someone who allows people to thrive in that area. Not necessarily dictating them and telling them what to do, but allowing them to come out of that shell, to come out and be who they are according to that profession and do what they have to do. So I believe, or I feel a good leader is someone who gives a person a chance. Yeah.
Lovely. Lovely. A good leader is somebody who gives a person a chance. I like that. But my last question for you, Marang, is how do you want to be remembered as Marang?
I want to be remembered as someone who changed lives. Because I don't believe in money, I don't believe in making a statement to say, there's just Drones for Africa. I want a question that comes after that to say, what did you do, in terms of impact? So in terms of what I want to be remembered with, I think is the impact, what I've done for those people or how I've changed the lives of individuals up there. My goal is actually to meet you and or to enter a place and not live it the same way I found it. Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you guys for watching this episode. We really hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Deep Dive is dedicated to bringing you the most comprehensive and engaging information about business, personal finance, and personal development. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with all our latest content. If you liked this video, give it a like to show your support and help us reach a wider audience. And don't forget to share this video with your friends and your family who may be interested. Sharing helps us grow our community and connect with like-minded individuals. Leave a comment below and give us your biggest takeaway on this episode. If you're interested in being a part of our live studio audiences, make sure to register for the next show. Can't make it to the show? No problem. Check out our Patreon page to watch the full episode and get exclusive access to more great content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of The Deep Dive.